Hi, Juby Uby. Juby Uby you, where are you? Oh. Sorry, I just went on one. From Juby Uby Uby to the Scooby-Doo music. Things about Scooby-Doo makes me think of Daphne Blake. And you don't want to know what I'm thinking about now. Hi. Oh, Mavis, he hasn't got a guitar. He's not going to sing. It's safe. Bring the kids back in the house. And Mavis Staples and Johnny Files. Mavis Staples, the Staples singer. Hey, I just thought of that. I'll work on it. Where are we to here? Oh yeah, so this is, there's no singing involved in this. Apart from, where am I going? I better get on this. I'm missing Modern Family, one of my favourite episodes to do this. So, how did I get on to whatever I was doing here today? Oh yeah, so I found a newspaper today. Wrong, I found a newspaper a while back and it just said, but something just occurred to me today. So here's a true story. Why would I lie to you? That's not a good look. I just got a viewfinder gaze of myself. I don't like that look. That ain't much better, but you must excuse me. It's got a little, you know, it has the square in the viewfinder that follows your face around, so I'm just playing games with that at the moment. Do you remember back in, like, I don't know when it was, the 70s, the 80s? Those very early computer games, it was like 2 paddles, table tennis was. Boop, boop, boop. Took about 4 days for it to go across. Doot, doot, doot. So it's kind of like that. Anyway, but you can't see any of that, so it means nothing to you. Right, so here's a genuine email, right? So I know this Christian lady. And I've known her quite some time now. She's been a Christian for, well, I'm 62, so it's going to be 40 years, I guess. And apart from the belief, she actually works for the church as well. She runs 3 of the biggest churches, well, one of the biggest churches in the southwest, and 2 others around it. I must excuse me, but my fingers are tingling. The Christians amongst you are going to say, that's a sign. You might well be right. Anyway, so this is a genuine, don't you go fading here. It's a genuine email, right, that I sent a week ago, almost a week ago. Okay. So, and I have a minor correspondence with this about matters, and this is a matter that's been going on for months. So on Monday the 11th of September, 0958, I sent this lovely lady, I have to be careful what I word here, but this is a photograph of a 9-year-old girl's ankle bandaged all the way up from, as it says there, yet another severe malicious injury. That is the 4th such photo or information about that I've sent, 4th injury to this lady. Not so many laughs at the moment, is there, folks? In about 3 months since I became too incapacitated to do anything for myself. The reply: I'm sorry to hear that, Paul. XX, sent from Outlook for iOS. I'm sorry to hear that. No, I get onto this, I do something about it. Well, let's not go too far down any kind of roads. I don't know if you can see that, so I'm going to close it down now, just in case. But anyway, so I thought about that, and this was just sitting here. Here we go back into history. What's the date on this? Let's go back to, well, I can't believe that. Oh my, I swear this is spontaneous, right? Well, I mean, it's not that, but I had no idea when this was. So this is Western Gazette of Thursday, the 18th of September, 2003. And today is the 16th of September, 2023. So that's what I looked like 20 years ago. So that's what I looked like at 42. So I wrote a book back then, one of my first books, well, about my 9th or 10th. So this is the Western Gazette, and I've done a signing session at hand. And you can see, Jesus' diary is utterly stupid, say Christians. Outraged Christians have called for a novel depicting Jesus as a foul-mouthed, promiscuous, pot-smoking youth to be banned from shelves of a local bookshop. This week, the utterly private and confidential Teenage Diary of Jesus by cult author Paul Murphy went on sale at Otterker's bookshop in Middle Street, Yeovil. Steve Hart of the Yeovil Community Church said Christians would oppose the sale of the book at Otterker's. He said, "From what I have heard of it, it sounds very offensive to Christians. Anything which is contrary to the Bible is heretical. If it is contrary to what is taught in the scriptures, then it should not be on sale in Yeovil." So he hadn't actually read it, or even seen it. "I'm outraged," says easily outraged twonk. Well, you know what, Christians, you know what outrages me? 9-year-old girls living in fear and being regularly injured. And you just going, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." That's what outrages me. So anyway, so I just thought I would plug that out there. I've always had a kind of strange thing. Just to get back on other stuff. This isn't a very good bit. This is a Gloria and J bit. Not that anything against them in particular. But, I always find those bits slightly less surreal than the other bits. I like the more nonsense bits, the Phil and Claire bits. I remember getting house insurance on this place once, and I said, this was in the days when people had to come out to sell you insurance, You people with your online internet, you don't know how lucky you are. Or, since you get to see videos of me, you don't know how unlucky you are. The lights have gone off. Is it a sign? Did it say in the scriptures that one day the internet should go out at South Mead West Camel? Plague of locust predicted. Oh yeah, so this is semi-serious and semi-nonsensical. So the poor guy came out, poor sap. He was a nice fella. So I said, "Well, what's covered?" He's doing this insurance, I was changing company. "What's covered?" And he's telling me all the things that are covered, and he's saying, "Well, the things that aren't covered." "Well, we don't cover acts of God," he said. I said, "Okay then." I said, "So then if one of these does happen, and I take you to court over the matter to get some money out of you, you will of course prove that there is a God in court." Silence there was. Because, if it's an act of God, you've got to prove there's a God first. And then I pointed out, and I said, but which God, by the way? Does it cover all of them? Or just one specific one? If it covers all of them, it's a bit wide-ranging. And where does it stop? The great Johnny Cash once said, "I don't call it religion because some people worship a hog." And I said, "But I'm an atheist." I said, "So by making me sign this, you are in fact stymieing my beliefs." I signed it. I took it up, the insurance in any case. But you see how tenuous, their grip is. And of the contrary beliefs. Who was the name of that? Was it an Aztec? When the Cortez went over there, merrily introducing syphilis and influenza and horses to South America, and they found this. You need to check your facts here, but I think I've got the basics of it right. They found this tribe, native indigenous tribe, who'd been there quite happily, living a happy life in their own land and presumably worshipping their own god. And the bits that we got taught at school, which was a lot closer to the actual event than it is now, was that they took the king, who was probably worshipped as a god, captive, and his people said, "We will fill this entire room," they either said, "We will fill this entire building or room or chamber with gold if you let him go," or they were ordered to fill it. So they went out, and all their natural assets and all their prizes and everything, jewels, they stored it up in the room, and when there was nothing left to put into it, the bits that we were taught was that they couldn't put him to death unless he turned his back on God. So they got the priest to give him a Bible. We didn't know what a book was, so it's Bible, and that was him rejecting God rejecting their God, presumably not his own, since he didn't know what the Bible was at that point. So, and they killed him by, they garroted him. They had him on a chair. You'll need to check this, but you'll find him about 80% right. And they tied it up. I think all he asked was his children were spared, and they probably weren't, if mainly because the diseases that the Europeans brought over decimated so many of the people. So there's your religion for you. You have to be very careful on these things, with upsetting anything. But you can see how I've got onto this. Oh, my video's finished uploading. If you tune in to file 14, I've recorded a version of As Ye Sow, So Shall Ye Reap this morning. A lot of coincidences here, aren't you? Because, of course, that's from the Bible. Anyway, so it just got me, these people, this poor child has been injured so badly for so long. I'm sorry to hear that, but they won't pick up a phone and make a call about it or anything like that, So where does in jest I've been saying to people with regard to this person in the last couple of weeks, if that's an example of Christian, then the sooner the Satanists get in, the better. But anyway, I don't wish to upset anyone. No, but here you go. Now this is where it's all kind of spooky here. Spooky, spooky, boo. I'm not going to tell you why I'm chuckling about that one. So I went upstairs to get my telephone, and I've made up my mind to do this little bit of video, and I was just going to show you this little bit here, so I was going to show you the front of the newspaper there, and I was going to show you that clip there, and it's strange how these things go. Oh, by the way, I'll just go back to 2003 a little bit of time. So I was interviewed about it, Oh, man, they're just crazy. I mean, all these people that had never read it, that's the thing. I have never seen this book. I've never read any of it, but I'm truly outraged by it. Oh, I haven't slept for 3 weeks. My hemorrhoid's been playing me up much worse ever since this book was published. I see a direct correlation. I was getting death threats from America. Burning me at the stake or whatever, or burning their steak and making me eat some of it because I'm a vegetarian. I can't remember what it was. It's very strange, to have death threats from Christians. And but I got interviewed by a radio station, I can't tell you some of the answers that I gave because, times have moved on. But I pointed out to them, they said, do you have any regrets about writing the book and everything? And do you think that it's, it should have been done? And a lot of people said don't do it, I've got to be honest, but, the more people say don't do something, you just kind of want to go and just see what happens. Like, it's like one of those do not press this button signs, and you just want that, And so they interviewed me there and said that, and I said, well, look, if God exists, he knew I was writing the book. All he had to do was give me a heart attack. He said, well, not the typewriter. Typewriter in those days, folks. So you can see how tenuous it is. I took that as a sign from God that he wanted me to complete the book. If you want to go the other way, you can say that since I wrote this book, in the last 6 years, I've been struck down with incurable progressive bowler palsy, motor neurological disorder, the trauma-induced version of motor neuron disease. I'm in the end stages of my life. I've lost my life savings, my marriage. I don't really care about that one way or the other. That was just... Depending on how you look at it, I was married for 12 years or 1 day. Well, about 2 hours, actually. My savings have all gone, and worse, I've lost my children. And they've lost their friends. Through that, they've lost their friends, their brothers, their sisters, their childhoods. So that's taken the laughter out of it a little bit, hasn't it? So I'm just showing, so if you Christians want to go and say, well, there you go. The Lord has made him repent his ways. Well, he hasn't, but if you want to say that the Lord has inflicted all these things on me for writing the book, then, you can believe that as much as you need to believe in anything else that doesn't exist. because purely someone said so. I mean, the easiest way to do this chair's falling apart. Either on my arse, it's falling apart. That's probably both. We are all God. You know, I'm 62. I'm pretty good at history. I don't know any war that was ever stopped by a prayer. Do you? Human beings can stop wars. They start them as well, of course, you know. And they can decide not to start them, which would be a whole lot better, really. But I've never known any. I've never known prayer cure disease or stop a war or anything like that. You know. So it's pretty much a Ponzi scheme, really, isn't it? You know. But anyway, let's not go there. But where I was going to go with this, so I went upstairs. I formulated the idea, and I thought I'll do that. And I just go upstairs and get my telephone and bring it downstairs because it's gone 1 o'clock. And while I was up there, something just made me look at a corner of my bedroom where I've got a big, I've just got it down as a children's plaything that I bought for my daughter, I guess, when she was about 2 years old. Oh, that's what I look like these days. What a difference 3 decades makes. Not 3, it's 2. And I don't believe it. And I thought, I looked at this and I thought, yeah, I've got to put that on a website and just sell it and get some money for the children. I do apologise for the eye contact. I keep going to the viewfinder. Narcissism as well. Oh! He's the Antichrist and he's a narcissist. Whatever next. And I swear this is true, folks. And I look down and look at this. I mean, I couldn't believe it myself. It's there, and it looks like it's a brand new one as well, because there's the box of them left. I withdrew the book from sale because the Christians were getting more out of it than I was, really, you know. I mean, there's only so much piousness. I thought they're going to get so pious they're going to frickin' will explode any second, you know. So to save their lives, I did a far, far better deed. For their sins, I withdrew my book from sale. And I know there's a box of what is left of them over in the garage. It's been there for 20 years now. But here, and there's one in the house. And this is the infamous book, the utterly private and confidential Teenage Diary of Jesus. You know, so I wasn't brave enough to put my name on the front. It was just a bit dumb, really, since when I did all these press releases and everything, like, you know. But anyway, so this is not by me, it's by Mrs. Nellie Snegbert, a one-legged Venezuelan flute player from Croydon. So, shall I read you some of it? Would you like that? If a book's funny, you should be able to just open at any page. What's happened with the television? Started raining, so the signal's gone. You see what God is doing to me? Look at this. I don't know if you can see this because I've got the viewfinder the wrong way around. Let me just there, look at that. You see? You see how God punishes people? You see that? He knows I like Modern Family, so because I wrote this book 20 years ago, he's made my television go on the fritz this afternoon. It's a sign, I tell you, it's a sign. Show me a sign. So anyway, so what have we got here? I mean, I didn't write this to upset anyone. I really didn't. I wrote it to make people laugh. You know, obviously 20 years ago, things were different. You probably couldn't do this book today. I don't know. But anyway. So, I don't know. Yeah, you've got to find a bit that's going to make any relevance to you if I start reading that. So, but it's basically, and I pointed out to people, this is the Teenage Diary of Jesus. Jesus became Jesus before you all write in and start turn all your thumbs down and send me all your vitriol. I mean, man, I get enough vitriol if my guitar's out of tune, let alone this. But Jesus only became Jesus, per se, from 30 to 33, when he, that's unfortunate. There was going to be a book 2 to this, and I was going to do a bit from then, but that would have been too much. Book 2 would have been too much, so I didn't do it. Look at this here. I must point out, this isn't my gut, this is actually my intestines, because this is where the disease has turned all my... Here you go, you Christians, get your revenge in. So where I've turned to water, and all my stomach muscles have turned to water. So I have to wear a waistcoat all the time. This is literally the only thing holding my intestines back. You wanted to know that, didn't you? Where was I going with this? Yeah, so I figured that he could have done anything he wanted, you know, in the first 29 years and 11 months of his life. It doesn't alter the fact that from 30 to 33, he became, you know, became a working Messiah. No days off, no holidays. Oh, goodness me, a terrible job, terrible job. And No wonder no one wanted it before me. Where was I going with this? You know, so it didn't detract from that. He could have been a normal teenage boy doing all the teenage boy things. He still did his good works and everything, if you want to believe in that stuff, from 30 to 33. So, but there's like running jokes throughout, like all the way through Jesus and Judas has got this thing going on. So Jesus nicks Judas's girlfriend, I believe, at one point. You know. I'm sorry, I'm not going to read you that, but and Jesus just thinks he's had a sign that he can bring the dead back to life. So I have killed Judas's beloved pet rabbit Jaime. But it doesn't get back to life. So that's the running gag all the way through. There's lots of running jokes there. So let's find a bit that I can read. Well, actually, let's just start at the beginning, I guess. If I remember, actually, this has probably got something a bit. If this is an original one, it's got something about an ex-girlfriend of mine. Oh yeah, it has, yeah. Sorry, Jen. Well, let's just go for it. So from the start, chapter the firsteth. The nativities are restless. 8:30, 1 second BC. Well, here we go. 8:30, is that a hymen I see before me? 8:30, 1 second AD. Yuck, sticky. 8:30, 15 seconds AD. That's how the book goes, if you want to have a quick look at how it goes there. This is Jesus, you know, by the way, in case you're wondering about. How's the beard looking? Inauspicious beginning. I appear to be in a manger in a barn. The nursing attendants seem to consist of 8 shepherds, 3 old Chinese farts with telescopes, half a dozen chickens and a goat. I've heard of doing things on the cheap, but this is ridiculous. I have a strong suspicion my parents may be Jewish. 1 minute AD. Well, it's easy to work out which one's the mother. That would be the one with the aching uterus and the stretch marks. The father is presumably the one that's just walked in saying, "Is it all overeth? And would you mindeth if I went in the pub for a pinteth, dear?" 1 minute 5 seconds AD. The grabbing hold of the gonads and twisting is obviously a sacred custom here. It certainly brought sentimental tears to the father's eyes. 2 minutes AD. Well, let's review the scene. The mother is... So sorry. Let's review the scene. Well... Well, let's review the scene. The mother is lying on a bale of straw covered in sweat, afterbirth and chicken shit. The Chinese guys are muttering something about, "He doesn't look like Buddha to me," took a wrong turn at Orion, and threatening to do that skanky map seller with a mallet. I'm in a manger with a straw duvet, only minus the duvet. The shepherds are swatting parchments of sheep and drooling, and the father is wrestling with the goat for what looks like placenta. Sigh, that's what you get for going NHS. Nazareth House. 10 minutes AD. The old man is currently trying to extract some kind of payment out of the Chinese guys for them having watched my birth. I see. I am the son of a pimp who runs a peep show from a bar. 11 minutes AD. Explains the goat, I suppose. 12 minutes AD. Actually, it can't be much of a money spitter. 9 months he's had to promote the thing, and he gets an audience of 11. Someone should tell him lesbian nurses are where the big money's at, mate. 15 minutes AD. No commentary on lesbians there. Hi, Julia. Julia B. How you doing? How's life in Nottingham? Why did you go to Nottingham? Could have stayed here. Julia Brown. I won't mention her full name, but well, she's married now, so all these things don't matter. She was not in the world's best relationship. Where are we looking at here? 2000, I guess? Yeah, I always go by what songs I was singing in concert at that time, you know. So I said, you can come and live with me. I said, just get out of there, just come and stay here. I said, I was knocking off the next door neighbour actually at the time. Literally, the house next door. God bless her, because her husband was a pig as well. And man, memories springing from the well front of my mind. So I said, come stay. So anyway, so she did a runner one night and she packed up her things. And every time I'd gone round her house, I knew she loved cats. And I like cats as well, you know. Yes, I'm going to say cats. No, anyway, so and her partner was not very nice to her, unfortunately. And she deserved a lot better. Well, we all deserve to be treated nicely, don't we? So I said, just pack some stuff, just come here, you know, just get out of there. We'll do the negotiating you like. You just come and go as you please. I do. I'm not here most of the time in any case. So she got a friend, a guy that she knew, and he drove her down here. And I don't know where I was to at that point. I think I was out with Sue. I think I'd probably gone out with Sue, and then I'll just go home and check on Julia and make sure she's... So I came in, you know, in my nice bachelor domicile and everything. It was like the end of Logan's Run. There must have been 30 million cats in here. I mean, they were just everywhere. And the first sight I saw as I came in was on these curtains here were drawn. So there was Julia running around with a plate of cat food here. Some guy, well, must have been the guy who brought her out in his car, I guess, sitting here. And this, well, it's not a kitten, but halfway between a cat and a kitten, literally hanging onto the curtains like this. I was like, oh, okay. I said to Sue, should we go back down the pub? So we went back down the pub. Anyway, she didn't stay very long, but it gave her a sense of freedom. Then she was able to breathe some fresh air, you know, and she moved away. A lovely, lovely, lovely lady. In another world, I could have been a woman and married her, or she could have liked men, and I could still have married her. But that's not how the world worked out. I wish her nothing but happiness. I hope she's had it. So what else happened all about in 23 years? Where do we get to? 15 minutes AD. Ah, no, my mistake. Apparently this is all legit. Bizarre to the nth degree, but legit. The Chinese people's story is that on their way to a spiritual event, which they'd heard about at the Star of the East takeaway, the three stooges took a wrong turn at the tattoo parlour and wandered in here out of curiosity, having heard a lot of moaning and groaning going on from outside. Boy, these guys aren't very wise. Hubby had popped out to get some fresh towels, and while Mother was going through the push, breathe, push, swear business, the ornamental Orientals hung about because they felt that a woman giving birth in a barn with combined mod-cons of 8 shepherds using crooks for forceps might need a hand. Well, it's certainly worth a round of applause in my book. They'd love to stay and chat, but they've got a special person to await. Their dealer, I assume. 16 minutes AD. Hubby says it has been foretold that 3 wise men from the east would be present bearing gifts tonight, and nobody's leaving until the goodies are handed over. 17 minutes AD. Interesting range of explanations. Ah, that would be 3 wide men, Honourable Joseph Sam. Clever. Oh, we've had that foretelling tool, and if we see those guys, we'll be sure to point them in your direction. Nice try. Remember, you white people think we all look the bloody same. Irrefutable. 17 and a bit minutes AD. Still no gifts being bared, unlike the Mother's Hooters. 18 minutes AD. For someone who's just given birth, she's mighty good at wrestling. 19 minutes AD. Resolution of a kind after some gentle diplomatic discussion, i.e. being bonked repeatedly on the pont with a shepherd's crook while a fresh mother holds you in a headlock. The Eastern travellers have seen the light and agreed to make a donation to the cause. This is obviously an important lesson to learn in the correct way to go about converting non-believers. Oh, bit of politics there. 20 minutes AD. In exchange for inner peace and a cessation of outer contusions, our guests have made an offering of gold, frankincense and myrrh to me, and some Moroccan black to Mother. The former and the latter gift I can concur with. Quite why this Joseph bloke thinks a couple of tubs of perfume are of any use to me, I do not know. The man has no frankincense. Clever, huh? 22 minutes AD. The Eastern guys have bid us adieu. Well, something about a Jew. Got on their camels and gone. Mother seemed to want to go with them, saying that her own mother had always told her that a woman would be happiest with the man with the biggest gift. Joseph has called her a frigid, shallow strumpet and thumped one of the shepherds for giggling at him. It's all a bit fraught for one's opening moments. 23 minutes AD. Leonardo. Jesus, as the angel told me. Bechamunezar. Jesus, as the angel told me. Bert. Jesus, as the angel told me. Big Nobshalom. Jesus, as the angel told me. Joseph Jr. Nice optimism. Jesus, as the angel told me. Uriah. Now you're taking the piss. Oh, I was quite clever back in those days. For the zillionth time, we don't have a discussion about this, Joseph. It's Jesus, as the angel told me. Angel told me this, angel told me that. How come you're the one the angel speaks to on the important matters? Like what? Like effing what? Well, how about the, oh, Joseph, there's something I've got to tell you business? Who gets a visit from Gabriel then, eh? Where was I when the bat needed a hot dog? Reading a book on romantic euphemisms? I'm going into my old crone voice there, aren't I? Oh, funny. So, come on, we still haven't had an explanation about that little titbit. Little titbit? Not me. I haven't got any teeth yet. Snooky bunny, you don't think your little merry-weary story is untrue, do you? A cynic would. It's something of an ambiguous statement. I can't believe my Darwin Cubby Pops thinks that I would make up something like that. Look, not in front of the boy. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, about 10 years of therapy later, I'd imagine. What's up with them? They're supposed to be a happily married couple who should be celebrating the birth of me. Anyway, while they're going about this stuff, I'm the one who's suffering. I've got straw stuck in my rectum. Hope I don't get a rash. Oh. I probably wouldn't be allowed to do the punchline on that one. 24 minutes AD. Having beaten a spontaneous and heartfelt tribute to my birth out of the Chinese guys, Father has turned his attention to the shepherds, or, to give them their alternate title, freeloading bastards. They have offered a piece of camel dung that is amusingly sick, shaped like a willy. Father has turned down their offer, this highly sentimental family heirloom, and put their crooks in a safe place for safekeeping. Altruistic. 26 minutes AD. Mother has requested that this Joseph guy, aka shit for brains, go and find her a bomb, which from what I gather is the device designed to alleviate the pain of childbirth. Or is that family allowance? UK joke. Does they even do that anymore? While he's been gone, Mother has sold the frankincense perfume to the shepherds, telling them that it is a new brand called You and Me. You as in E-W-E. Shepherds, you and me. A pun on every line. I would say that there's no flies on this woman, but the fact is she's covered in them. Once again, though, my feelings are that this woman had Yiddish blood in her. I wonder if it's hereditary. 2 hours. Let's speed some of this up. 2 hours. Shall I spin on ahead now? So you got the gist of it. A pause for thought. A pause for thought. Sometime AD. I went fishing with Judas today. I'm going to use a rod next time. Right, what should we do here? Chapter the 7th. Oh, sometime later AD. Oh, sometime later AD. Told you so. Joseph decided that I must join the family business. I do not particularly want to be a crap carpenter whose work is no more for its comedic potential than its quality, but he says that it is very important that I have a trade. What he means is that it's very important to him to have unpaid labour at his disposal, so he can get pissed at dinner time and spend all afternoon sleeping it off. First day as an apprentice. AD. What a teacher. This is a lathe, Jesus. Yes, Joseph. This is a plank of wood, Jesus. Yes, Joseph. Right, I'm off down the inn. We need 16 banquet tables for the Bethlehem Synagogue, 128 chairs ditto, a cart for Mr. Ashraham, a front door for Mrs. Comberthrom, 14 window frames and a chicken coop for the House of Ill Repute, and a wooden leg for Mr. Yashamon. I'll be back in half an hour. See you haven't done by then. Then it goes on, and obviously you can guess where it comes out. He's done those. I'm just skipping through bits now. Where's something? Chapter the 25th. We're all going on a summer holiday. 16 years and a July. The summer holidays begin today. Hooray! No school for 2 months. Hooray! We're into career training when we go back. Oh, I shall consult Mother. One consultation later, AD. Mother has, somewhat enigmatically, trans half a comment, a rolling the eyes and fuck all detail, suggested that I will become a healer. To test a theory, I have convinced Judas to allow me to break his leg so that I can heal him with a touch of my hands. One theory test later, AD. He'll be laid up for about 3 months, apparently. And it goes on like that. Anyway, there you go. Thank you for your indulging me. I'm going to go now because, well, I can see a lightning bolt with my name on it in this way. And also because this file's just about to go. So, I've been Paul. No, I haven't. I don't know. I'm no one. I'm nothing to do with Paul Murphy. Please donate. Peace, love, forgiveness. Serious note, okay? Love yourself, folks.